Right, I'm just going to do a quick demo of Pythonista for iPad and a little application I'm developing in it, which is a utility for the Traveller role-playing game for generating star maps and world details and so on. So Pythonista is a standard iOS application. You can download it from the App Store. It's a commercial application, and it allows you to develop applications directly on your iPad in Python. So this is one of the scripts that makes part of the Traveller application I'm developing. If you have a look at the top left-hand corner, click on the, I think it's called the burger icon these days. So that opens up the side panel, which shows you the files in the current directory. There's a whole bunch of demos that come with Pythonista that show you how to develop graphical applications and games, simple like drawing programs, things like that. So this is my Traveller folder that I'm developing my application in, and these are the scripts that make it up. I'm also using a library I downloaded from GitHub called Signal Slot, which is used for to help communicate between different components within the application. So let's have a look at some of the scripts I've got here. So world attributes. Right, so this is, if you're familiar with a Traveller role-playing game, this is just data. It's just a data file which stores information about world statistics. So you have different kinds of attributes for a world in the Traveller role-playing game: starport, the planet's size, if we scroll down a little bit, atmosphere type, that sort of thing. And so this is just storing that information. So this is like fixed data. And then if we go back again, there's a world gen script. So this is the script that actually generates a random planet in the Traveller game. So we set up some functions, some attribute definitions, and this is the actual code, get world stats. So that actually generates the world details. Going back, then we've got the world script, which is an object wrapper around the details of a particular world. World details is actually a UI view for inspecting the details of a world. That's still under development. It's still at a fairly basic stage. A few other things worth looking at. So map hex. So that is the main class here is the map hex class. It's a UI view. So it's a custom graphical view which represents one hex in the map. And obviously that hex can have a number of different attributes, including whether there's a world present or not. And if there is a world present, how is that displayed? Is a little black circle, and what other text and so on is associated with it. So that controls that. It also is responsible for receiving touch events. So if you touch the map and you select a hex, then the hex receives that touch event and has to handle it. And then it communicates off that it's being touched to the rest of the application. Anything else? Map view, that's the main map view with all the hexes in it. So it sort of generates an array of hexes and then they become child views of that view. And then sector model. So sector model is a data model, and it's the primary sort of control center for the data in the application. Right, so the world details and so on are all kind of accessed by the rest of the application accesses all that through here. Yeah. And then map controller. So this is the actual sort of core script of the app. So this is the script that you run when you run the application, and it's responsible for loading up all the other components and initializing them and setting them all up the way you want them to be. So to run the application, there is, I'm being Skyped. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it's my wife's mother is having a Skype call with my wife's sister in China. Sorry about that. So this is a map controller. This is the main application. So when I run this, it will run the app. And you do that using the little triangle in the top right-hand corner. Looks like a play icon. So you press that and it runs the app. Now the one thing is, it does take about 10 seconds. You see it's changed to an X button because it's starting the app, and if you want to stop it, you press X. So it takes about 10 seconds to load, which is a little longer than I like, but it's acceptable for now. So I'll see if I can optimize that at some point. So this is your initial view of the map. You can see it's, if you're familiar with Traveller, it'll be quite familiar. One thing to note, instead of giving the name of each world, I'm just providing its UWP, the standard string showing the world stats, just as a placeholder for now. I do have a world name generator script, which I'll be integrating at some point, but that's not quite working yet. So for now, I'm just using the UWP and then the starport type as the icon immediately above the world. So that's the E, A, B, C, D, E, and so on. So we're in navigate mode. See it in the top left-hand corner, I've got a navigate button. So that just indicates the mode that we're in at the moment. So in navigate mode, I can touch the screen and move it around. So you can scroll around. You see you've got scroll bars to the side. I haven't implemented pinch to zoom yet. I'm wondering whether to really bother, to be honest. But at the moment, you just scroll it around. And if you touch the world, it pops up a little dialog box showing the world details. Now, well, it will. So at the moment, that's not quite working completely. Like I said, that component is still under development. So at the moment, it just displays a list of the attribute types. And then at some point, I need to add in the code to display the codes and maybe a little bit of descriptive text as well. And ultimately, this will also be an editor so that you can select a value and change it. So you can change the starport class, change the size, and so on. And in fact, if you tap on another world at the same time, it displays it for that one as well. So you can have several up at the same time. So it just opens it just slightly to the right of the world that you tapped. Right. So this one I'm tapping the world with a B, and it gets rid of it. So you tap the world again, the dialog disappears. If I go into map edit mode, so this is a very simple version of a map edit. All it does is create or delete worlds. So if you want to delete a world, I'll delete that world sort of in the middle of the screen with the B, just by tapping on it, and the one next to it, and the other one, and I'll put a few back. So you see it's quite quick, and it's actually generating a random world when you perform the touch. You see it's quite performant, and I can quickly delete a whole area if I want to, no problem. Go tap on the map edit to switch modes back to navigate. Now you can actually, if I go back to the map edit, you can actually navigate around as well, right? So it's quite intuitive. If you just touch and drag, it won't create a world or anything, it'll just drag around. But it's just, so what it changes is what happens when you tap on a world. In map edit, if you tap on a hex, it changes whether there's a world there or not. And in navigate view, when you tap on a world, it shows you the details. So that's what those modes change. So this is placeholder functionality at the moment. I mean, whether there'll be a navigate mode button in the final application, I don't know, frankly. I'm sure there'll be a bunch of icons for different activities. I want to be able to multiply select several different hexes and then create worlds all there in one go, or edit this, do group editing of a group of worlds, that sort of thing. But that's where I'm at for now, and I think that's not bad for a few weeks' work. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it was interesting, and look forward to providing another update at some time in the future. Thank you.